Hi everyone and welcome. This is Wasmatic and this is my first in a series of videos on guides to how to play gods in the game of Smite. This first guide will focus on the Monkey King Chinese god Sun Wukong. If you're a new player to Smite or you're a new player on Xbox One, these guides are for you. So without further ado, let's have a look at the skills. So this is Sun Wukong, the Chinese warrior god. As you can see from the description there, he has a high defense and a high level of mobility, so it means he's very good at jumping in, getting into situations and obviously getting out of them again. If we then have a look at his abilities, scroll down to abilities, let's start with his passive ability, which is contrary to the way most players would think. So when Sun Wukong gets below 35% health, he gets a plus 10% critical chance and plus 10 protection across magical and physical, plus another 1% critical chance and 1 protection for his level. So the higher level you get and the lower your health becomes, if you drop below 35%, you actually become more difficult to kill. Now you'll be able to tell when this ability is kicked in, because Sun Wukong will show a orange glow like flames around him, and you'll be able to tell because your health will drop to 35% and yet you'll still be able to keep fighting. It's fantastic because when people think I've got you on the ropes and you turn around and start blatting them with your big stick, your cudgel, then you can see them turn tail and they start to worry. That's a passive ability, you don't need to do anything to activate that, but it's fantastic to have. So let's then start to look at his actives. Now the magic cudgel is a fantastic ability in that it's actually got a much longer reach than you would imagine. So this is an ability that does damage in a line. It's really good for taking out rows of minions as they run towards you. So the stick that he has, the cudgel, it grows in length and you slam it down in front of you. It does an additional level of damage to minions and jungle camps, so an extra 20%, which excuse me, which plays to his strength in jungling as well. So when you see some of the recommended items for Sun Wukong, if you haven't played him before, they'll recommend some jungle-based abilities and actives. So that's the magic cudgel. That's really good, a great reach. It's also really good at grabbing people as they're trying to run away from you and blatting them in the back. Have some videos of that I can show you later. Master's Will, it's an AoE, so it's an AoE. It has not a great range, but it does damage to anyone within the vicinity, excuse me, and slows them by 30% for 2 seconds. Now 30% slow for 2 seconds is really quite a lot. If you're using your 72 transformations, which I'll talk about in a minute, if you use that to gank people in a lane, to jump out of the jungle and gank people, if you throw down your Master's Will straight away, then they can't get away and they're yours and your colleagues' disposals. So it's a really good ability to use to keep people within range. If people are running, use it on them and it's very difficult for them to get away. I'll go on to talk about 72 transformations now. 72 transformations is a little bit difficult to try and get your head around to start with, but Sun Wukong has the ability to transform into one of 3 creatures, an eagle, a tiger or an ox. Depending on what creature you turn into, then that gives you certain abilities. So the eagle probably by far and away is used for getting out of trouble, and this harps back to the high mobility that we saw earlier. So if you're in a fight, you start to look like you're going to you're on the ropes and you want to try and get away, you pop this 72 transformations in the eagle form. You can't be body blocked, so you can literally just fly over anything that's near you, apart from obviously the jungle. But it's a fantastic escape, basically. It's the fastest of the 3. You can travel quite a long distance in it as well, so that's the one I would normally use to get away. You can occasionally use it if you want to chase people down who are running. I would probably opt for the tiger if I was going to do that and do some damage. The tiger, now I understand the tiger ability is the highest damage ability of Sun Wukong. Some people who know more might be able to prove me wrong on that, but effectively when you turn into the tiger, you can chase down people. It will maul the first enemy it runs into and stun them and causes quite a lot of damage. Now the risk in using the tiger near minions is that you can actually end up jumping on the minions if you were going for the god, so you need to be very, very sure that you're going to get the target you're going for. In these abilities as well, particularly the tiger and the ox, your turning circle, if you like, isn't that great. So if you're looking to be more mobile when you're in tiger form or ox form, it's not going to happen. You can turn left and right to a certain extent, but the mobility isn't that great. Now I use tiger an awful lot when I'm jumping out of a side lane and ganking people. I will run in, jump on them, stun them, then I'll throw down the Master's Will when they start to move again, which gives them that 30% snare, and then I'll start blatting them with a magic cudgel. Really, really good. So you get your 30% snare and your stun as well, so you can actually keep them within your sort of range and do a lot of damage. The ox, finally, the ox is just a knock-up really. It's you turn into this huge ox and go charging. You can charge down a line of minions, or you can charge down a line of gods, but it will basically knock them aside. When you're in these abilities, in this ability is the ox, you're immune to slow, root and knock-up effects yourself as well. So very handy to have, and obviously do quite a bit of damage. And finally, the somersault cloud, and this is where I was saying that the trickster god is true to his name. It's a heal. It's also a decoy, if you like. So when you activate this ability, Sun Wukong will leap onto his cloud and will leave a decoy of him down on the ground to fight in his stead. Now while you're sat on the cloud and your decoy is visible, you are invisible, so you can watch everything that's going on. You can see people fighting your decoy. I've actually done this myself and thought I was fighting the actual player, and it turns out they're sat above my head having a laugh. So you heal 5% per second. I think it's a 5 seconds that you're up in the sky, so on the cloud, so you can heal about 25%. Now the good thing is that if you are in the phase of your undefeated body, you can jump up onto the cloud, and the decoy that you leave behind will have all of the attributes that you have. So the other beauty about this skill is that if you're up in the clouds, you can choose to leave the cloud early and jump off and do some damage, so you can actually use it as a ranged attack, if you like, and jump into the fight again. So it's a get out of trouble, it heals you, but you can also get into trouble. If the decoy is hit by a hard crowd control effect, then it will die instantly. So anyone you're playing against who knows what they're doing, if they see your decoy, they'll see, if they just drop down a hard crowd control effect on it, then they know that they'll kill it. And then people will be able to see you on your cloud. This is a fantastic ultimate, I think, because it plays to the strength of Sun Wukong, which is that ability to jump into a fight, jump out, and also if you get into trouble, you can use the eagle and 72 transformations to run away. You can jump up onto your cloud, heal yourself, jump back down, and get back into the fight again. The beauty of this in conquest games, for example, is that you can actually use this to jump across lanes as well. So all in all, the abilities are pretty mobile, lots of damage. The magic cudgel can do a lot of poke damage as well, and ultimately you can make yourself into a really, really annoying enemy to play against. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. It is, as I said, my first YouTube video, hopefully the first of many. I hope you found it useful, because I know that Smite can have quite a steep learning curve, so certainly any fellow Xbox One gamers, if they found this helpful in learning how to play Sun Wukong, then I'll feel happy about having invested the effort. Feel free to check me out on youtube.com/Wasmatic, or facebook.com/Wasmatic, or twitch.tv/Wasmatic. I'll be streaming some Witcher 3 over the next few days, because that's launched tomorrow. Until then, thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.